So my name is Tim Biello, and we are on Featherbed Lane Farm, which is in the town of Charlton, just a little bit south and west of Saratoga, so eastern New York. Featherbed Lane Farm is a 60-acre property, a mix of fields and woods and wetlands. So it's a full year and a free choice CSA, so it's both all year, every Saturday, and then it's free choice. So we set up the farm store with bushels and totes and tables of food, and our CSA members come, and for however many people they've paid to have a share, they take whatever they want for the week. Over the years, worked and managed on different farms, including one that had draft horses there, and I kind of specifically sought it out because they were doing this full year free choice draft powered CSA, and wanted to experience that really intensive, like all year, all in, all the time kind of lifestyle, and also working with the horses and see if I really liked it as much as I thought I did, and I did. I guess it was around 2010 or so that I started pretty seriously thinking I was going to try to find my own farm, because we knew we wanted to do something like a full year on-farm CSA. I had a team of horses that I bought while I was working on that farm. I knew I wanted to do it with draft horsepower. That's sort of how it was. Many years in the making, 5 years of really intensive planning and searching, and then the years before that of working on farms, and well, working on farms while searching too. I spent a lot of time in the planning phase working on my numbers, and you see just what a huge percentage of your numbers labor is. It's also, you realize, a huge percentage of your time in terms of managing labor. So having good systems to make your labor really effective and cost effective and efficient in the field, but also having them happy and satisfied and doing all the work right and enjoying themselves. Managing the time and the money aspect of labor is a big part of the farm. I think labor is people, so I'm happy to have labor be an expense of this farm and be something that ideally people are getting a fair wage for really hard work. That's important to me. So it's not necessarily that I just want to push down on that labor price, but if we are going to spend a significant amount of our income on labor, how do we do that in a way that really brings the best benefit to the farm, supports those people, and leads to like the overall success of the farm? So I think from the financial side, it's a big expense, and it's something we need to manage and do as well as possible so we can survive. It's farming's slim margins as it is. You can't just kind of toss money around ineffectually. Right off the bat, I was trying to work with advisors, especially advisors who had the ability to analyze sort of our financial plans. And that was folks from Cornell Cooperative Extension who had good expertise in looking at farm business numbers. That was folks from the Small Business Administration who had no ag experience, but could look at it just as like a cold, hard business plan and shoot lots of holes in it early on, which was simultaneously frustrating, but then informed me like, well, if I can't explain it to this person who doesn't care about all these farm values, they just want to know if this works as a business. And that was a learning process for me, looking at those numbers and also getting ready to try to buy the farm and take that on and then have the farm continue. That was a really good point where around that time, as we were getting closer to be able to try to buy the farm in our lease to own arrangement, and we had been in business for a few years and worked with other advisors. That was the time where the Smart Farm project came. I saw that was an option, and that was a way to get a more in-depth analysis on some of the financial and labor aspects of the farm. Trying to figure out from a financial perspective, how could we expand and sort of deepen the labor that we have here. And so that was kind of the heart of the project. Through this program, I was able to work with Steve Hadcock at the Cornell Cooperative Extension office near to us. I think he's based out of the Hudson area. So Steve took a deep dive to pull some of those numbers out and organize it in a way that was more useful, maybe from a financial advisor's type of perspective, to help us both get a sense of how we were looking, and as we're moving into trying to purchase and sustain the farm, but recognizing that labor is a big part of both our current expense structure and will be something I want to expand moving into the future. I hope to bring on somebody as like a full-time farm manager, so that they could be here ideally for multiple years or longer. We explored different ways where could costs be diminished a bit, where could I get more out of that, or if I do want to bring on labor, how can I consider what else in terms of like production or value comes with that increased expense of bringing on someone full-time for the full year instead of at 8 months. And so it was really a lot of small pieces that are kind of part of the puzzle of making this work, more so than one like standout end thing that we left with. And I'm like, this is the thing. It was really all these pieces to help me consider how do we, bring on more labor for a longer period of time. I just think it's so valuable to have somebody else take a really close look at your numbers and give you a kind of a more objective observations on that. So there a lot of that in various small ways throughout all of our lines on our budget process came out, and that was just in and of itself extremely helpful. Our plans for the future of the farm in a lot of ways are to stay the course. We want to do more with flowers and other things that we've found that people really love. They love taking home amazing fresh produce. They love really fresh, delicious eggs. And they also love having flowers on their table and something beautiful to just see from the farm.